welcome to the historic Crystal Palace National Sports Center for today's second match. Right now, we are going to have Newcastle Knights versus Mallory Eagles battling it out to see who's going to take home the bronze medal for this year's men's Dynamic Super League Final Fours. My name is Jess Smith, and I'm joined today by AJ as my co-commentator. So, AJ, welcome to the stream.
Thank you so much, Jess. Good to be here once again in the beautiful Crystal Palace. It is hot, beautiful outside, but we are indoors watching some of the best volleyball UK's got to offer.
You say indoors, but there's plenty of windows in this venue. We did have some sunlight issues when the Newcastle Knights played yesterday, although that was slightly later in the afternoon, so unlikely to happen during this match in particular. But excited to see what's going to happen between these two sides.
Yes, extremely excited. I know both had thriller games in their semi-finals yesterday, and I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. I have got a favourite, but I don't think I will let that have any light shed on it just yet.
Okay, you have a favorite. The poll in the YouTube chat also has a slight favorite, but only 60-40 for Mallory Eagles right now, so that's fairly tight, all things considered. But yeah, you mentioned about yesterday's results and the two five-set thrillers. So both of these teams have played an enormous amount of volleyball already this weekend. And starting with Newcastle Knights, who took on Essex Rebels men yesterday in the first of the men's semifinals, falling in 5 sets to the Rebels men. So they took set 1, 25-23, lost set 2, 22-25, lost set 3, 18-25, but fought back and took set 4, 25-13, pretty dominant there. And then set 5 going into extra points, finishing off 14 for Newcastle Knights versus 16 for Essex Rebels, sending the Rebels into the gold medal match. And Knights will be fighting for some sort of silverware today. Any comments about yesterday's match, AJ?
I think it was just incredible resilience from Newcastle Knights. I didn't fancy them as favourites, and then to take the first set with Major. Essex obviously had a huge fight back and kind of found their groove and minimised their errors, but Newcastle, as always, staying super diligent in the fourth and taking the biggest margin of the game. It kind of led into the 5th set, making me believe that Newcastle was going to take it, but then they went the distance, and obviously Essex just edging out right at the end was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was an amazing match to watch. I mean, 41 total kills for the Newcastle Knights across those 5 sets yesterday, 12 big blocks, and 9 aces. That's a really impressive showing. They had 31 errors across 5 sets. Not too bad of a stat, all things considered. And then moving on to talk about the Mallory Eagles men, who also played a 5-set thriller yesterday. So they played against London Giants. They lost the first set, 17-25, but came back and won sets 2 and 3, 25-16 and 25-22. Lost set 4, 22-25, and then taking it pretty close in set number 5, where it went 13-15 for Giants to take things. Now, we do want to just quickly cover off a little bit of controversy that happened yesterday. There was a bit of a moment, as we're watching the coin toss, we'll talk about this. There was a bit of a moment where there was some confusion on the court. There was a let played during the match. We understand that there was some upset from the fans for various teams. But in line with all volleyball matches, if Mallory Eagles wanted to protest for that specific decision, they needed to do it immediately with the first referee and potentially the scorer's table. So after the conclusion of the game, the Mallory captain did sign the score sheet as normal, and this effectively ends the protest window for anything in relation to that game, because it's an acceptance of the game result itself. So there's no further course of action. So Mallory now are settled in and prepared to fight their way for a bronze medal to take home some silverware this weekend, as we just have the teams setting themselves up to have a quick team photo. So, really great match. Despite the controversy, there was still a really great match last night. I don't know how much of it you caught, AJ.
Being completely honest, none. I came in this morning and hear about the controversy, but I mean, as you said, it's one of those things, and kind of in the heat of battle, you would protest immediately, and if you sign the sheet, I know things can go a bit south sometimes, but if you sign the sheet, it's done, and we see it on the highest level playing fields across the globe. So nothing can be done. It's good to acknowledge it, but at the end of the day, the decision's a decision, and when it was made, if it's not been protested, that is acceptance.
Yeah, no, completely agree with that. So just since we talked about the incredible stats from the Newcastle Knights, let's just have a quick touch on what Mallory Eagles put out onto the court yesterday evening as well. So they had 55 kills in their 5-setter, 10 blocks, and 3 aces. So it'll be interesting to see if that service pressure differential plays a part in today's match. They had 35 total errors last night, so that's going to be a big difference maker. Can they clean up their game?
Yeah, huge questions to be asked. I think the blocking game will probably make the difference. Service pressure from both teams is quite high. I mean, we saw Ollie Tuck getting put under the pump a little bit yesterday. I mean, he was the X factor, and as we know, if you put someone under the pump on service, it's a question being asked of, can you pass well and then continue to side out? Can you break those two situations and separate them? And yeah, so I mean, he will most likely be the X factor again today for the Knights going into this game. He is an absolute monster on the offensive end. I mean, I think throughout the season he had close to 200 swings and only about 30 errors, which is monstrous percentage from this young man. So we'll see if he can follow it up. I mean, he's got everything to play for in this. This is to get a medal, to get onto the podium, and I'm sure he's going to want to prove himself after kind of a devastating 5-setter yesterday.
Yeah, completely agree with that. And it'll be interesting as well. So both of these teams, as we mentioned, played 5-set matches. So it's a fairly even matchup in terms of, amount of time rested, fatigue that they might be feeling. Although Newcastle Knights did play the first match of the men's yesterday, so they have had, 2 to 3 hours of extra rest. Is that really enough to make a difference? Maybe, maybe not. But so let's just have a look back at the in-season matchups between these two. So their first matchup on the 12th of October, this went to 5 sets, and this finished after 10 o'clock at night. This was a late one that went in. So are we going to see something similar? So in that first opening weekend match, Mallory Eagles fell 2-3 to Newcastle. They lost the first set 22-25. They lost the second set 23-25. They then came back and won sets 3 and 4, 27-25 and 25-21, but fell in the fifth 12-15. Now, on the flip side here, on the 1st of February at their last meeting, Mallory Eagles swept Newcastle in 3 straight sets, 25-21, 25-16, and 25-18. So, mentally, who do you think has the edge?
So I mean, today's one of those days where it's everything to play for. So a mental edge is a really hard thing to define, especially as they've both had 5-setters yesterday. I think they're both going to be coming in fighting in a completely different way as in season. I would say my bet would be going with Mallory Eagles in terms of a mental edge. I think they're looking really strong and happy in the warm-up. They look like they're prepared to fight. I mean, it looks like they've got probably a little bit more bench depth, but Newcastle coming all the way from the north, I think they've got more to prove, and I think they're going to be wanting to fight a little bit harder because they've had to travel such a long way to get down here. So to leave without a medal would be very tough.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think there's a couple of things that I've observed over the last day. Sorry, it feels like it's been longer than that. I can't believe it's only been a day. So Newcastle will really take some confidence from the fact that they took number 1 seeded Essex Rebels to 5 sets. That was a really great performance from them, especially after having lost both of their matches against Essex 3-1 during the season. So they put in something that they hadn't been able to do earlier on. So they'll want to capitalize on that. On the flip side, Mallory Eagles will be really upset that they've narrowly missed out on a chance to get to the gold medal match because they were very much hoping to get there. So will that put the fire in their bellies to get them riled up and ready to rip things down the line today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when we're talking of things to prove, when they lose, like in the way that they lost yesterday, I'm sure there was so much frustration going home, and so much frustration before they rested. I think today they're going to come out absolutely firing, whereas Newcastle might be tempted to rest on their laurels a little bit. I mean, they took the number 1 seed to 5 sets. They got further than they've ever gotten against them, as you said, and it's maybe there'll be a kind of subconscious mental switch off, and I think that's what they've got to really worry about coming into this game, is that, are we switched off because we've taken a team that we've never beaten, we've taken them the distance.
Yeah.
Whereas Mallory Eagles, on the flip side, are like, okay, well, they might think they were wronged. I don't know. You can never read people's minds, or they may think, stuff happens and that's the way it is. But I think either way, I think they're going to want to hit really hard and really prove a point in this game.
Yeah, no, I think that's a completely fair assessment. One little bit of extra info for you guys, in case anybody wasn't watching the stream last night. I was joined on commentary by Neil Ray, who's the setter for Newcastle Knights, number 1. So do you think it's going to give him an edge that he was not only watching that game, but intimately involved in talking about it, being super into it, knowing exactly what happened? He's seen every bit.
I think in a way, yes, but I think he would have found more benefit if he'd sat on the sidelines watching. I think there's a difference between sitting on the sidelines and watching and analysing from a setter's point of view, rather than talking and trying to make a fun and lively commentary all the while watching a team that you may face, watching a team that one of them you're definitely going to face off against tomorrow. I think there'll be things he's taken from it and probably things that he's missed from it. So, I mean, we'll definitely see. I think Neil's a fantastic setter. He's got great court vision. He's very smart with his choices. He's very good at spreading the play. I'm not sure he's going to let it affect him too much. I think he's going to try and stick to mostly playing his game and maybe trying to pick out some weaknesses. He might have talked to his coaches a bit, but hopefully he's one of those players where he has a lot of faith in his coaches, trusts them to make the right decisions, and then he can just focus on his game rather than trying to constantly being the tactical mastermind.
Yeah, which is what you want from your coaches ideally, because as a player you want to be able to focus on doing the best that you can do in the position that you're playing rather than worrying about what the other team is doing. In effect, play your own game, play on your side of the net. Don't worry so much about what's happening on the other side. So that's exciting. Last year, so this is Newcastle Knights' first season in the Super League, so no history for them in the Final Four. We don't know what to expect, but we saw an amazing match yesterday. Mallory Eagles last year finished 4th in the table, but in the Final Four that was hosted at Kettering last year, they did a reverse sweep on Essex to take the bronze medal. So really great performance for them. They really like to play their 5-set matches. As I said, they played 5 sets against this team in the opening weekend as well. They love to bring the drama. We love to watch it. As a spectator and as a commentator, it's exactly what I want out of a match of volleyball. So hopefully we get something exciting today. If the first match was anything to go by, it sounds like we're going to. Going to be one of those days.
Yeah, I think so. I think looking at day 2, I mean, no team wants to go home getting bageled, getting 3-0'd. So every team, if they can, they're going to be trying to bagel their opponent, but if both teams are fighting at 100%, 110%, giving it their absolute all, knowing it's the end of the season, not worrying about any kind of energy conservation, being that it's the last match of the weekend for them, I think we're in for something very exciting.
Yep, definitely exciting stuff. So we did see some changes happen for the Newcastle Knights yesterday. So Neil came off for a bit, Nathan Sykes came on, so there was a double substitution that happened a couple of times, and then later on, towards the end of that match, they just made the straight swap and Sykes stayed on the court. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see who starts as a setter. Still expecting it to be Neil Ray at this moment in time, but we will see shortly.
Yeah, and Sykes had a great performance yesterday, but I mean, second setter for a reason, right? And I think potentially some of the decision making might have been around, the coach will obviously have faith in him, that's why he kept him on for so long, but I wonder if some of the decision was to do with the fact, okay, are we resting Neil up for tomorrow? Do we want him kind of as close to 100% as possible for tomorrow? We don't want to exhaust him when they knew that they were going to go the distance or get close to going the distance. But I mean, Sykes also fantastic connection with his players.
Yeah. So we've just talked about Sykes, but now we're going to talk about our player to watch for today's match. And Probably no surprises for anybody that watched the stream yesterday where Newcastle played, where we had Kelechi Bell as our player to watch. He was really excellent yesterday as well, putting up some really strong points for his team with 13 kills, 1 block, and 2 aces, with only 3 errors throughout that whole 5-set match. That's really good stats.
Yeah, and Kelechi Bell, I mean, he started and kind of, I don't know, I wasn't familiar with his game really in the first 2 sets, and kind of the last 3 sets he was absolutely pumping. He was firing, getting huge blocks, great touches in defense, as well as making big swings. So I think we're going to expect more of it from him today. And we talk about Ollie Tuck, the X Factor, but don't sleep on Kelechi Bell.
Yeah. So now we've talked about Kelechi Bell, let's talk about our player to watch for the Mallory Eagles. Today it is going to be number 4 middle, Logan Clark. So he didn't really fire a lot yesterday. He didn't score a lot of points. He had 1 kill, 3 blocks, no aces. So it sounds like a quiet day in the office for him, but he had a lot of really good containing block touches, setting up his defense to get some balls up that they might not have otherwise done. So it'll be interesting to see what he can bring out today.
Yeah, I completely agree. And again, didn't watch much of the game yesterday, but I'm sure it'd be fantastic. I mean, a couple of players for me to watch definitely is like Ben Kwame. I mean, absolute athletic specimen. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be putting on an absolute show today. And of course, the big shovel hands, Nathan Fullerton, I think also he's not one to be slept on. But with Mallory Eagles having that depth of skilled players and big hitters, I think it's going to be a fantastic game.
Yeah, completely agree with that. Really excited to see what both teams are going to put out on the court today. They're just going to have a bit of a pre-match huddle, and then we will get started in just a minute or two with set number 1. And ahead of that, we're just going to have an introduction. Sorry, the referees are just making sure that the lovely volunteers have collected up all of the balls and gotten them off of the courts ahead of the teams being presented to one another right before we start this bronze medal match. It's always interesting to look at the faces and the body language of the players as they line up on the baselines.
Yeah, and I mean, all players at this level look completely unfloppable, but it would be wrong to say they aren't feeling the nerves at the moment. I mean, nervousness, however, is just a sign that you care. So if you don't have nerves and your palms aren't sweating a little bit, your heart's not pumping a little bit faster, then it's just your body saying that you're not ready for what's about to come. So I think despite the game faces and despite a bit of wiggling and moving and grooving, I think every player will have that kind of pit in their stomach and a little bit of nerves, but playing at this level, they'll just know how to quell it in the most effective way.
Yep. So we're just about to, not sure what the delay is. I feel like we should have already been going on here. Interesting. Always a bit of fun. You can see the players now are getting a bit restless, starting to wonder what the deal is here. Yeah,
it's like looking at racing dogs when the gate hasn't gone but the gun's been fired, and there you can see this is messing with their routine a little bit. They're used to coming on the court now, and I think now maybe the nerves might be stepping up a little bit, kind of thinking what's going on, but
I think we're just waiting for the scoring table. It looks like we might be ready to start now. Okay, so as we said before, on our left from the side angle view, we've got Newcastle Knights, and on our right we have the Mallory Eagles. They're just going to clap each other onto the court. This is one thing I really like about volleyball. Like, there's a big focus on being sportsmanlike, both before and after matches. And even during the matches, there's, you can see the coaches down there shaking hands. Everybody's friendly. We're all one big volleyball community. I'm assuming that's the same for the beach guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's less clapping at the start, but it's definitely sportsmanlike. I mean, in a country where volleyball's not one of the major sports, you can't really afford to be a not pleasant person to be around, because the scene's really small, even more so on beach, that if you're a bit unpleasant, then, I mean, you're going to get iced out really quickly. And I think everyone off the court is probably fairly friendly. And, yeah, so sportsmanship is incredible.
So we've just had our referees introduced. So we've got Anna Jostowska as our first referee and Brendan Fogarty as our second referee. So we're just going to have the starting lineup now for Newcastle Knights, starting with number 8, the captain, Ollie Tuck, through the outside. Number 1, Neil Ray as a setter. Number 3, Nick Skansen through the middle. Number 4, Ryan Peace as the other middle. Number 5, James Joseph Ledbury outside. Number 11, Kelechi Bell as the opposite. And of course, the starting libero, and I think their only libero, number 14, Jack McKelvey, who was excellent in defense yesterday for the Knights. Right, now that we've got our Knights line up, we're just about to get the Mallory Eagles line up. So starting captain number 4, Logan Clark through the middle. Number 1, Ben Kwame, who, AJ, you've mentioned is one that you want to watch today. Number 8, Nathan Fullerton, who the MCs just introduces the Floor Destroyer. Followed by number 15, Dalton Bunn, who had an incredible performance last night through the outside. Number 18, Dylan Cohen through the middle. And their setter, number 19, Joel Martinez. With their starting libero, number 3, Dan Hunter, Olympian extraordinaire. So now we've got our starting lineups for both of these teams. It looks like the chat poll has gone up to 66% for Mallory Eagles to win. Cannot wait for this match.
Same. We're talking about player nerves, but I think we're getting some nerves up here watching, and the anticipation for this to start is incredible.
Good to get those starting lineups up on the screen from our incredible comms team, making all of this possible. We're going to get started off with Logan Clark to serve for us for Mallory Eagles. Got the claps going on in the crowd. Oh, we've even got a sign. Logan, my king. That's a good pass to start with. Going out to Kelechi Bell straight away.
Big swing to get us kicked off. Kelechi Bell will definitely mean in business. I mean, his shoulder's warm. He's ready. We've also got another sign saying, where's your Olympian? Which is class.
Right. Oh, James Ledbury nearly across, but straight into the tape.
Smart start from JJ Ledbury. Shame it couldn't cross the tape, but he was trying to thread that line-to-line spin serve, and I think he was trying to weasel something off the side of the platform.
So Joel Martinez, the setter for Eagles. So well passed and a quick B-ball out to Skansen. This time out to the captain Tuck, who strikes the antenna with the ball.
And a little bit of a traffic jam on the net on the side of the Mallory Eagles. But I think they worked it out, and probably counting their blessings a little bit that the antenna was caught on the way through.
Martinez serves again. Nice float serve. Great pass there from Ledbury. And a really well covered overpass, but they can't quite recover that one. That's smart play from Cohen there. Smart short serve. Kelechi Bell picked up by his opposite number.
And the Mallory team giving a bit of a no hand wiggle, thinking Nathan hadn't gone into the net, but Fullerton, great sportsmanship. Thumbs up to the ref, says well caught.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
somebody was definitely really in the net, and I do think it was Fullerton. Okay, so that brings Skansen up to serve for Knights. Not the best pass from Bund, but it goes out to Fullerton, who's... That was an incredible bit of cover. But what a block from Kelechi Bell and Ryan Peace. We've got a loose ball on the court. Had that a few times last night. Caused a couple of delays. Skansen to serve again. Hunter with a good pass. Straight out to Fullerton again, who's blocked again.
Big, big wall being put up. Presence being felt definitely on the offensive end. I mean, Nathan Fullerton trying to slow down the pace of that. You can see that he just slows down that swing, tries to find a way through, but I mean, Kelechi Bell, Ryan Peace just absolutely pressing and holding, finding the block.
Yeah, I love that side angle as well because you can see that press. Good serve from Skansen. Well handled by Hunter. Another block is covered. So free ball going over to Knights now. They're going to put their middle up. Great dig from Hunter. Bund. Saved by the net touch.
But what looked to be a very good rally. I mean, it was already a couple of overs. Just a shame someone got a little bit overzealous, went into the net. I mean, we've got 4 apiece now, so it looks like this will be a very interesting game. Early days, though.
Bund to serve. Float serve handled overhand by Ledbury. Bell takes a bit of pace off. Bund from the pipe. Well handled by McKelvey. Straight out to Tuck. And the block touch is not recovered. Right. Bell to serve now. Jumping float serve. Aiming for that area of traffic on the Mallory side. We love the Ace song.
Yeah, it's hype. It is hype. And Bund just planting his foot on the sideline, watching it go out. He knows. As soon as it passed that shoulder, he said it was no way was it going to drop.
I do like that little bit of gamesmanship when the players either pretend like they're going to pass the ball or they stand there and wait for it to almost hit them and just let it go past them.
So smart from the X Factor. I mean, he gets up, he knows his set is a little bit out of system. He's not getting the ideal set and immediately kind of drops that arm back and shoots for those high hands. Really smart, knowing that block would be there.
Yep, and exactly the type of high IQ play you want from your captain. So he comes in with a really heavy topspin serve, but that's a great pass from Kwame, who then comes in with an attack, well covered by Knights. Bell doing well to take off behind the 3-meter line, and straight to our one to watch for Mallory, Logan Clark through the middle.
Yeah, dangerous, dangerous front row to have Benny Kwame and Logan Clark. I mean, that play was effectively set up by Benny's dime right at the start.
Tip. That's really smart there from JJ Ledbury. Peace serves, but it's well passed. Martinez out to Kwame. Good cover, diving by Fullerton. So free ball and net touch on Ray. The Newcastle Knights a bit confused by that one, but I think that's a good call by the referees.
Yeah, whether it was a net touch or reaching, I think it was definitely a point for the Eagles. So.
Yeah. So Kwame with a hybrid float serve. Quick to the middle behind, Really well covered by Hunter there. And Kwame from the pipe does not take a touch, but the Eagles are convinced. No touch given. Right, so round to a good rotation here for the Knights, where we've got Bell in the front, Ray to serve. Heavy float serve. Out to Bund. That's an impressive swing.
Yeah, and a big, big find. Huge shoulder on the serve, but Hunter handled it so well, and Bund just getting up, trusting his setter to find him in front of that 3-meter line.
So Clark to serve. That's a good float serve, but well handled by the captain. Out to Kelechi Bell with some hang time up there. This time back out to Bell. And there's a one-on-one between him and Martinez.
Yeah, and there's a reason he's our one to watch, isn't there? I mean, back-to-back, second time of asking, one-on-one block, absolutely in the danger zone.
Ledbury, his heavy topspin goes long. You see we've got one each of a Go Mallory and a Go Knights in the chat. Please do continue to support your teams as the match goes on. Out to Bell. Good containing block touch here. Martinez goes to Fullerton. And it's a little too hot to handle for Ray.
Yeah, and just out of that body line, can't bring that platform round to keep it inside. I mean, Fullerton, very, very heavy arm on that man.
That brings us up level at 10-all. Ooh, straight out to Tuck. But what a block from Cohen. We'll watch that one again. Look at this press. Oh no, that might be Fullerton actually. Short serve from Martinez.
And a bit of frustration from Martinez. He knows he was in the right place, but just, again, like Ray, couldn't get a handle on Kelechi Bell.
Yep, so we're going point for point now between these two teams.
French fries on the board.
Yes. Scanson to serve. That's a tight pass from Bund. And we're going to have a call for a backcourt attack on Martinez. Trying to save that one, doesn't quite make it. And again, Bund so casual, letting that one go. Bund now with a much harder and flatter float serve, so it's going to be a chase ball. Oh, that's an overpass. Kwame with a decent pass there and a straight out to the B.
Yeah, super high free ball there. Kwame didn't quite get the control on it he wanted. I mean, he pushed his setter almost back to that 3-meter line, but Martinez, so skilled, finding his middle Cohen. Yeah, excellently executed.
Yeah, we've got some decent ceiling height in the venue, so smart to take advantage. That flat serve puts McKelvey off, but we are going to have an out-of-system swing.
It was an insane recovery dig from Kelechi Bell, but it's really hard for Ollie Tuck to track. I mean, it's almost coming over the back of his shoulder, and he's having to try and rip his whole body round to find the answer.
Right, timeout now for Newcastle Knights. So, there's not a lot in it. 2-point spread. Is this more about mentally breaking the momentum rather than telling his guys that they need to change something? Because they are playing well.
Yeah, I mean, we've not seen too many errors. I think the most errors that I can recall up until this timeout from the Knights is the service errors. I mean, one swing error there, but could just be a point to ice out Mallory Eagles, I think, really. Newcastle Knights are doing all the right things. It's just super fine margins.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. Outside of some service errors, there's only been one kind of unforced error where Ray was in the net. All right, we're ready to start again. So Bund back to serve.
Huge ace from Bund. I think a little bit of a miscom. I mean, neither player moved for it. It was in that awkward zone, that seam between them. And yeah, fantastic serve.
Incredible service pressure out of the timeout. We had one of those in the women's match as well. This is such a flat float serve. Kelechi Bell over the top of Kwame, I think. Short serve on the middle, but Cohen passes it and says, I'll have that back.
Oh, scoop and deliver. I mean, how's that for a play? Middle taking the pass and then running that like almost shoot ball and just finding the answer. So good. Mallory getting into their groove majorly now with a 3-point lead.
Cohen, into the top of the tape. They're really aiming to just go over the net tape.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this level in the Final Four, it is fine margins. You give anything less than kind of a top 100% serve, you're basically given a lollipop.
What a pass from Bund, straight on Martinez's head, who doesn't know anything about that block cover. Hunter unable to chase that one down. It's a great read there from Ryan Peace. Tuck with a hybrid dropping float serve out to Fullerton.
Oh, and that one looks like it's got to hurt, coming right off the top of those fingers, really bending them back. Fullerton giving no quarter.
I cannot imagine taking a ball to the finger off of one of Nathan Fullerton's swings. That is some power. He comes in now with...
Oh, Mallory's extremely happy about that little rotation error. Questions being asked by Ollie Tuck, but Nathan Fullerton can't quite believe his luck. You see the smile still painted on his face.
So he gets another bite of the cherry here after technically having missed that serve, with Bell having been out of rotation on that previous point. This time he doesn't miss, but that's a very tight pass. Oh, great read from Martinez. But they're just falling over each other here. Everybody looks to be okay.
Yeah, and the coach holding his head in his hands. I mean, you saw Nathan Fullerton. He was like a bit anxious going into that. He was trying to look down while look at the ball, but yeah, no way was he going to find that. But all smiles, they're happy.
A bit unlucky, but they do retain their 2-point lead. And Bund continues this really good reception.
Martinez getting it all done, trying to make the setter dump, gets blocked, and oh my God, just takes that one ball and takes a swing of it.
This is such a quick, such an amazing heads-up play. Hop to do the two-handed setter dump, which was quite effective for him yesterday. Gets blocked, but it goes a bit high. Let's just hop back up there. We've got a substitution. I'm assuming this is a blocking substitution now. We've got Josh Funda coming in, with Kwame just sending that serve long. So Funda will come back off. He's normally a middle, so clearly just trying to get some extra height at the net to stop any Knight attack. All right, Ray to serve. Puts in an ace.
A couple of errors from Kwame there. That service error followed by that passing error. Just really seemed to drop his right shoulder. Yeah, a little bit of a grimace coming off the court, but timeout definitely well used by the coach with a 1-point differential.
Yeah, that lead just starting to shrivel up for them. So he's just talking to Kwame specifically about what he's doing with his arms when he's passing on that service reception. So very evenly matched. not much difference between the two sides at the minute. Anything that's standing out that you think either side could capitalize on to take the lead now?
I mean, Pieces blocking at the net has been incredible. Kelechi Bell, obviously, he's our one to watch, so he's been doing fantastically. I think tighten up the pass a little bit. Jay Ledbury been doing really well on that defensive end, but not seen a lot from Ollie Tuck so far. Otherwise, yeah, big swings from Mallory Eagles. They just want to keep it going. And, yeah, they've been using their middles a lot, so maybe I want to see a little bit more spread, test your pin hitters, but...
That's a heavy swing. And a great out-of-system set from Kwame. Oh. Ray again. Takes a little off at this time. Backcourt opposite. Takes a touch off the block. That brings up Clark to serve. It's not the best pass from the captain for Knights. And Bell does well to keep himself out of the net there. Out to Bund. Oh, that's a great diving stab from the setter.
Yeah, and just that split-second moment of hesitation from Tuck. I think he probably didn't think Neil was going to get a handle on it, and when he did, I mean, you saw him jutter backwards and start again, and I think that means that was the difference in time of him making it versus not making it.
Yeah, so this lead just starting to open back up slightly for Eagles. That's a great pass from Tuck. And Bell.
Yeah, and Kelechi Bell just gets so high up. I think that's just a major mismatch for Martinez on the net.
So Mallory do have another setter, number 7. Yashar. He is a bit taller. But that's a smart swing from Kwame, just catching the fingertips. Right, we're going to see a substitution. We saw this yesterday with Matthew Milne coming in.
Yeah, Matthew Milne balled out yesterday when he came on. I mean, he balled out for every set that he was on.
So just looking at some of the comments as Martinez puts a serve into the net. To answer your question, Ed, yes, this is Crystal Palace National Sports Center. Thank you for joining us on the stream. And to answer your question, Cedric, you might be able to get the player heights on Volleybox, but Volleyball England doesn't control the inputs there, so not sure how complete that data might be. As we see, Tuck is blocked.
Big presence from Cohen. Look at...
We'll watch that one again.
Watch. But yeah, I know Nathan Fullerton is definitely on Volleybox. So it's all dependent on their career, I think. So stats will be out there for those who have had a bit more of an illustrious career.
Yeah. So Mallory retaining that kind of 2-point advantage. So it's 21-23, still close, but as we're getting really tight to the last couple of points of the set, the Knights coach, Sam Shenton, just trying to stem the flow here. He clearly knew what he wanted to say. They're already back out on the court, well ahead of the whistle to get back out there. We're going to have a change here for Mallory Eagles again. We're going to have Dalrymple come in. We saw this yesterday, giving a bit more height at the net than Kwame. So Bund with a flat float serve.
Yeah, big ace. We saw this from him earlier. Same exact spot as well. Picked it out, takes them to set point.
That's Bund's second ace out of a timeout. That's impressive mental resilience. Tape Trickler is picked up by McKelvey. Out to Kelechi Bell. Great containing block touch here. And the referee calls that ball down, which means that Eagles take set number 1.
Yeah, and a very commanding victory it was. I mean, I know we were locked up for a lot of it, but Mallory Eagles seemed to not really ever drop their momentum. It seemed like Newcastle was playing the Mallory Eagles game, which is got to be frustrating going into the end of that first set. But can't discount them. I mean, they won their first set against number 1 seeds yesterday, lost the next 2, and then won the 4th in the greatest margin that we'd seen that game. So I think down, but definitely not out.
Completely agree with that. We will be back in just a couple of minutes' time for set number 2. Welcome back for set number 2 here. We can see some comments on the YouTube stream.
Yeah, big shout out, Reese Lambert. I mean, yeah, you know the rules. It was that damn knee injury. It wasn't the fact that I'm very vertically challenged and blind, but yeah, it was the knee injury. Yeah, shout out, Reese.
Some great comments going on. People asking, how do you stop Kelechi Bell? It's a good question. How do you stop Nathan Fullerton?
Stopping Big Nay.
How do you stop the middles from either side? Because they're firing pretty well right now. So Nathan Sykes getting the start in this second set, starting us off with a serve. And Kwame into the net.
Kwame is an absolute bounce merchant, and you could see the steepness he was trying to get on that pipe attack was unreal.
Apologies, I said Nathan Sykes, and his name is Noah, and I even know that because I've commented on matches with him before. Clearly just having a moment. Out to Bund, who is absolutely stuffed.
Kelechi Bell, yeah, weapon, absolute weapon. Little one-on-one, holds the hands there afterwards. Cold Selly.
We'll watch that one again. Sykes, and again, this time Bund just letting that one go off to his left.
Yeah, and that's 3 attempts they've made on Bund since the last set, where they're trying to serve him down that line, and 3 errors made. So kind of wondering what the thought process is.
So that's a decent pass to Sykes, who goes straight out to Kelechi Bell, but what a dig from Kwame. And a roll shot is picked up by Bund. Going to that B shot again.
My gosh. Silly. That is silly steep from Cohen. shoulder mobility of dreams. Have a look at this. Little flipping inside out action.
So Clark serves again. Out to Kelechi Bell. Another one of these rolling shots. Oh, I love the pancake from Nathan Fullerton. Sykes sets the pipe. And this time, the ball is called out. That is a serious lead from McKelvey there. I love the commentary about me using the wrong name, since I've clearly had a bit of a moment today. But you guys got to come up with some fresh jokes. Straight to going in the middle. So Martinez to serve. Good rotation here for Eagles. Sykes goes out to Bell. And we have a call for a net touch against Bund. Followed up by the ace service. Nick Scanson dropping one in. Eagles just taking their time, trying to clear some sweat off the floor.
Sweat off the floor or clear their minds? I think disrupt the rhythm a little bit as well.
Good pass there from Bund. Out to Fullerton at the outside.
Yeah, Fullerton one-on-one with Kelechi Bell and Peace. And look at this, he just gets OT. Can't defend that.
Bund serves. Well handled by Tuck. Sykes goes out to Bell.
Oh my lord. Firing back one of his own with a little extra venom on it.
How do you stop that? I think he's over the top of the block of Cohen.
Yeah, and again, it was a little grimace from Kwame. I think he knows he's going to have a tough time blocking Kelechi Bell. Again, fourth time. They're really trying to put Bund under the pump, and it's not working. That defensive setup, just pushing Bund right to the line, saying, okay, well, if you're going to serve me, prove how good you are.
Yes, and when he is passing the ball when it's in, he's making some decent passes most of the time. So Cohen into the net. Loving the chat, guys. So this person's asked, the question on everybody's mind is, what conditioner does Nicholas Scanson use?
It's all natural, just soap, I reckon. Big reach from Kwame. That's the athleticism we're thinking of. A little bit of a behind-the-back action. Things we love to see. But yeah, Nick Scanson, luscious locks. Not sure on the conditioner. I'll ask him post-game.
We might be able to report back on that for you guys. So Fullerton serves. Float serve on to the captain, Tuck. Out to Ledbury, who's looking for a touch but doesn't get it. Fullerton, another float serve coming in. McKelvey takes over this time. Back out to Ledbury.
Yeah, this time recalibrating, finding the solution, firing through that block of Martinez.
It's good as well from a setter to show that you've got that confidence in your attackers. Great pass from Kwame there. Straight out for that B-ball, this time with Logan Clark.
Bit of choice language from Nick Scanson there. Can't see it while the camera's not on him, but yeah, a bit frustrated. He didn't get the block on that, I think.
Kwame with a heavy float serve. Really out of system here. Top spin serve. And a smart tip from him. Out of system to Ledbury. Bund picks that one up, goes back out to him, and he's blocked by Noah Sykes.
Yeah, shut down. Welcome to the game, Noah Sykes. That's a big, big block.
And he will take the pump from that block back to the service line. Gonna get us started with a float serve. Still targeting Bund here. This time back to Fullerton in the backcourt.
Yeah, big swing from Big Nate. I mean, Sykes in the right position, but when it's deflected off the block like that, you have to have ninja-like reactions, and he just wasn't quite there. Had those hands parked in the middle and didn't get a catch on it.
So Clark serves. That's a short float serve, but well handled. Ledbury takes that one up. What a pickup from the middle. Bund, steep angle.
Okay, huge from Big Nate. Didn't know he had hands like that. Absolutely dreamy. What a find.
I mean, that defense from Logan Clark, as good as any libero out there, yeah? Clark again. Great pass here from McKelvey. Going out to Bell at the outside.
Yeah, and he's got such a high reach and such a high contact point. Still couldn't quite get on top of that, just punched it out the back. But it's great to see a big fella being smart and trying to hit deep, not just steep.
McKelvey with a beautiful pass here. Bell again. It was a good block touch from Martinez to take some heat off of that. Bell defends, and he gets the ball back. What an angle.
Ugh. That is sickening from Kelechi Bell. Unreal. He has just got all the tools in his locker to find success on the offensive end.
So Ledbury now with a topspin serve, into the net.
Yeah, Ledbury finding a few errors from the baseline this game. Probably needs to start tidying that up, because these unforced errors aren't going to win you any favors against Mallory Eagles. Oh, wow.
Absolute stuff.
And you see the reaction from Martinez and the coach. Unreal. They are very, very happy with Fullerton on that one.
Martinez serves. Ledbury with a out-of-system play. Bell is covered. So free ball going back. Can Eagles capitalize on this? Out to Bund. Good block touch. And then Cohen says, I'll take care of that.
Big, big stuff. I mean, we see a little bit of a Game Boy dig from Fullerton right at the start of that. And then Cohen just getting up, taking control. Timeout called, 5-point lead.
Nice to see there as well. Eagles using the full extent of their very experienced coaching staff, with Carroll just talking to Kwame. We've got Martinez back on the service line. Float serve, still aiming for that area with high traffic. Bell with a push. Smart play. So with all that height, he's still coming up against a big block.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what's to be expected in the Final Four, isn't it? It's insane athleticism, but yeah, Kelechi Bell, again, showing the depth of his locker and showing that volleyball IQ.
Skansen again targeting Bund. Out to Nathan Fullerton on the outside. And Noah Sykes unable to get that ball up into a playable position for his teammates.
Yeah, Nathan Fullerton also pretty experienced beach player, and you're seeing it come in here when he spots the gap. Everyone's expecting him to absolutely pound the ball, so he just takes off all that pace, just chops it.
Smart float serve, targeting Tuck. And Bell goes long, although I'm not sure if Bunn thought that took a touch off the block because he was looking to play it but didn't quite make it there. Bunn, very short float serve. McKelvey picks it up, but it's an overpass. So free ball to Eagles, out to Fullerton, who does exactly what you would expect.
Yeah, really, really commanding in this second set. This is kind of what I personally expected, was a bit of Mallory Eagles dominance, but definitely don't count out the Newcastle Knights. Coach pulling another timeout with a 7-point difference. I think this set may be a little bit of a write-off, but just building for set number 3. I mean, definitely not to be counted out yet.
Yeah, can they get themselves a little bit of momentum heading into set number 3? Just looking at the comments again. So Ed Young, you played here in the national finals in the 90s, and it's the same court surface. Maybe, maybe not. It does still look in pretty good nick, though.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to comment because I wasn't born, so.
Clearly I'm just old now, it's fine.
By the 90s, I assume he means pre-97 vintage, so.
Right, so Mallory have a commanding lead of 7 points, and we have Dalton Bunn on the service line. Heavy float, but well passed. Great swing through the middle for Ryan Peace. Gonna have a double substitution here for Newcastle Knights, where we've got Bell coming off for Neal, and we're also going to see number 17, Matthias Gordon, come on. We did see him have an appearance yesterday. He was pretty effective in the blocking. So we'll see what Ray can put into the court. Straight at the middle. Kwame aiming for high hands.
Yeah,
not getting them.
Kwame really, really swinging and hoping the hand to be there, but I think blockers made a little adjustment. Just the high swing anyway, so I don't know if he'd have caught many people's fingers.
A reaching tip from Kwame out to the new opposite, Gordon. Really great scramble play, but a free ball out to Knights. They're going to go out to the captain, Tuck.
What a stab dig.
What? And then out to Fullerton. Oh, and they're still going to keep it alive, but a free ball back to Eagles. Is it going to go to Kwame off the dome of Peace? Out to Tuck again, who puts it away this time.
What an insane rally, and the X factor to finish it off. I mean, great from the players. They were a little bit frustrated again in the middle of the rally. You could see it was palpable, but just to stay composed and Ollie Tuck to find that finish was absolutely huge.
Got somebody out here saying go Castle. But Mallory do still have a 4-point lead, although they've now taken time out. Right, so out of this timeout, Ray is going to serve again. That's a very tight pass, overpass. Covered by Fullerton, but overpassed again.
Absolutely huge. What a major substitution. I mean, Neil Ray doing so much damage from the baseline, and just Lefty just getting up, adjusting in the middle of the air. Tyus Gordon getting it done.
Ray serves again. This time it's long.
But a great service run from Ray. I mean, I think, what was that, 4 out of 5 serves? 3 out of 4? Not bad, considering the heat he's putting on it. Still got 3 attacking options in the front.
Will they keep Gordon on the outside for that extra bit of blocking height against Fullerton? It's going to be a free ball to Eagles here. Bund with a good pass. Going out to Fullerton.
Oh, no. Fullerton OT, cha-ching. Over the top of Matthias Gordon, and he is not small.
So Cohen to serve again. Well left by Knights there.
Little exchange of errors at the top to keep the score difference exactly as it was.
This time it's going out to Ledbury. And another diving save. Out to Gordon.
Yeah, and Logan Clark just too far off the net, doesn't find the press he wants, and Gordon capitalizing, finding real success. But Fullerton doing loads on defense. He's getting some quite unorthodox touches, but he's making it work and keeping Mallory alive.
Interesting sub here. So we've got Matthew Milne coming in as a serving sub for Peace. Wondering as well if this isn't just to shore up the defense a bit. Quick touch there from Ledbury, so it's going to Fullerton, and that ball looks long, no touch. Mallory just letting the errors creep in, letting Knights stay in this set. Decent pass from Bund there to Fullerton, who finds the floor this time. So we are going to see Yasher come on for Martinez. Potentially just a blocking substitution, although he is a setter. Kwame with a hybrid float serve coming in. Beautiful pass out to Ledbury, who puts in the two-handed tip, and that ball is called down.
And that point difference just creeping and creeping on the way down. 3 points in it now. The Knights doing this yesterday. They are not to be discounted, even when they've got 5-6 point differential.
So we've just seen a reversal of the double substitution for Knights. So now we have Noah Sykes on the service line, which means that we have a front court opposite with Bell back on the court. And as a reminder, not too long ago, it was 18-10 for Mallory Eagles. Still targeting Bund. This time it's an overpass. Yasher trying to recover that one.
Great watch from Ledbury, and way to get up there and stuff it. A little bit of a stare down through the net.
So Sykes serves, still targeting Bund. Another overpass with this time Yasher into the net trying to recover that ball.
Yeah, and he was big into the net, but now we see Bund really being under the pump, and we see that game tactic working. I mean, 2 overpasses in 2 points.
All right, so we've got Martinez back in. The extra height is not worth it, seems. Sykes with another serve. Much better pass here from Bund. So he gets that back.
Ledbury, 2 blocks in 3 points is incredible from this young man. Let's check it out again. One-on-one, just gets that inside arm on it, and timeout called for the Mallory Eagles with everything locked up once again. Looking extremely different to to not too long ago when it was 18-10 up. As we've said, Newcastle Knights never to be counted out. Mallory Eagles are definitely strong, but Newcastle are relentless.
This is the magic of Final Four weekend. Anything can happen at any moment. Newcastle Knights have shown some incredible resilience, coming back from 18-10 down to be tied up at 22-all right at the business end of the set. So the players are just making their way back onto the court now. We've got Noah Sykes on the service line for Newcastle Knights. Still targeting Bund there. But a good touch through the middle. Logan Clark with the kill. And it's remiss of me to say, to have not mentioned, that Matthew Milne has retained his space on the court. There's no libero on for Knights, with Milne taking that position 5 coverage. Back to Fullerton. Good dig there from Sykes. Out of system set to Bell.
Yeah, tough. Can't get a handle on it. I mean, such a fair thing for them to default Fullerton. I mean, he is first in the Super League in kills by 33 for a reason, isn't he? So having that as your default option, I think you've got a lot of comfort as a setter knowing, oh, well, if nothing else works, just send it to Ney.
Out to Ledbury. With a smart block out kill. So it's still set point for Mallory Eagles, 24-23. Ledbury targeting Bund, well off the net this time. It's a decent dig, so it's going to be out of system to Bell. With a big swing and a big dig from Fullerton. Bell again. This time he finds the court.
Second time of asking Kelechi Bell. Just that set that's a little bit more perfect for him in the rhythm that he wants. He found his tempo and just found that deep corner spot. No one's home. 24 all. Magic number no longer 25.
Yes. We have to do 2 points clear to find the end of this set. And Ledbury doesn't do his team any favors by putting one into the net there.
Yeah, Ledbury's struggling a little bit from the baseline today. I think maybe 3 or 4 errors he's had, and that one's got to hurt.
So Martinez serves here. And a very gentle two-handed tip from Skansen, with Matthew Milne taking that one to the face. So, 26-24. We've gone into a little bit of extra time in set number 2. Will things change in set number 3?
I mean, from where I'm standing, Mallory really took their foot off the gas. Newcastle switched on, but I think Mallory were holding such a dominant and commanding lead throughout that set. It's hard for me to say things are going to change. I think I would love to see a 5-setter, but I mean, the way the Knights are playing currently, they cleaned it up towards the end of that set, but it feels like Mallory is just like a relentless steam train.
Yeah. Okay, we will be back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll leave you guys to watch Spiky and one of our volunteers leading the Macarena. Okay, welcome back for set number 3. Here we go. We've still got plenty of support in the chat for both teams. Just waiting for the second referee here to check the lineups. If we look at the top scorers at the minute, it looks like a battle of the opposites. So we've got Bell on 13 points for Newcastle Knights, and we've got Fullerton on 11 points for Mallory Eagles. But it feels like it's the middles that are making the difference for Eagles right now.
Yeah, we're seeing a really strong presence from Cohen. I know we said one to watch with Logan Clark, but I've seen too much from the big fella, whereas Cohen... Ooh.
That's an interesting kill there from Bell in that outside position. So we're going to have Ollie Tuck to serve for Knights. So topspin serve with a quick run behind for Cohen.
Yeah, big adjustment from that fella. I mean, keep him bunned under the pump, but just Martinez, very good, very handsy, and his middle nose. Just make that little behind run to leave room for Bund if needed.
So Martinez to serve. Bump set out to Ledbury, who is roofed. A little bit of confusion for what the call was for the line judge, but it looks like she's happy that the first referee has understood what she was meaning to say.
Yeah, that's that telepathic connection that the officials have.
So Hunter picks that one up. Fullerton puts in a roll shot, so it's going to go out to Ledbury again, who puts in a roll shot of his own. So out of system here, but a beautiful set from the libero. Rays behind the 3-meter line, and this time Bund gets the angle right on that block.
Yeah, big mean mug after this block, and can't say no to that. That's an unreal stuff block. Out of system with the Knights, but Bund very patient.
Oh, Bund really liked that block and wanted to stay out there, but it's his turn to serve now, so he makes his way to the back of the court. Tough float serve, overpass.
Yeah, major danger. You overpass into Cohen's airspace. Kwame didn't even bother getting up. He knew. This is for you, big fella.
Right, so Bund is going to serve again. Bund serve. That's a great pass from McKelvey. Out to Bell. What a stab from Martinez, but it's going to be a free ball over to Knights. Are they going to capitalize? Out to that B again. And Fullerton just puts that one out of the reach of his teammates. Bell serves. Still aiming for that area of traffic. They're really trying to pick Bund out. What an angle from Kwame.
Yeah, and we haven't seen much of that from him this game, but that is kind of what I was expecting from him coming in. Just getting up, stupid athleticism, and just creating some silly angles. I mean, look at him next to Nathan Fullerton. He looks small, but he's not to be discounted once he's in the air.
Cohen with a serve. That's a decent pass from Tuck, but that sets a little too low for Peace. So early lead now for Eagles as Cohen serves again. Ledbury, not a great pass, but somehow keeps that towards the court and tries to get a recyclable play off of that block.
Yeah, and a little bit of frustration from him towards his team, but I mean, he threw that into the block at such an angle that that's not really where anyone's going to be covering you.
Yeah, he did his best to try and get some height on that, but that's a beautiful pass there from Tuck. And the one-on-one block.
Yeah, let's check this out again. Yeah, big nade. I mean, just got to shake it off. That is unreal.
So we're going to have the early, very early double substitution for the Knights. We've got Noah Sykes and Gordon back on court. Cohen to serve again. This time it's long. Just enough of a delay. Mallory will be happy, though, to have an early 3-point lead. Bund doesn't handle the Ledbury serve very well, but Fullerton with really good cover on that block. The stabbing dive is touched again by Sykes, but not recoverable.
Yeah, big chase down. I mean, that was everything on the line for that ball. Just couldn't quite bring it back to his team. The effort we love to see, but this is do or die right now. Knights need this, and with that lead increasing, we've really got to see them step on the pedal.
Yep, so Fullerton from the baseline with a float serve. Good pass from McKelvey. Out to Tuck. Not sure if that was the hand or the head of Martinez there.
Yeah, fast arm though. Really fast arm from Ollie Tuck. This is where he's so dangerous in system, giving him that ball.
Peace with a float serve, and this one goes long. Really good communication on the court from the Eagles. Kwame with a full-on topspin serve this time, and Gordon just can't quite reach that one past the advertising boards. It's a great one-to-one serve from Kwame.
Yeah, absolute nuke. I mean, that's right when they needed it as well. He's not been too successful, but that great spot.
The net tape takes a little bit of heat off of this one, so it goes back out to Tuck. Decent dig from Fullerton, but can they chase it down? Oh, Hunter way off into his bench. Kwame just go in to check and make sure he's all right. Hammer of a swing from Tuck on that one. Gordon serve somehow makes it over the tape. And a block off of the face of Tuck. So out to Fullerton and a block touch. Good pickup from Gordon, and a lift is going to be called on that set from McKelvey. So Clark into the net this time.
And we see Deji holding up the sign of Logan, my king, and as soon as he holds the sign up, Logan misses it. He dropped the sign pretty sheepishly in the crowd.
So can the Knights captain do anything? And I didn't even finish my sentence. Is the curse of yesterday coming back to get me again?
No, I don't think so. I think Newcastle Knights looking a little bit dejected in this set. They've really got to want it.
Martinez with a good float. Well taken by the middle there. And Gordon apologizing to his teammates. Another good float serve. Great pickup. And Gordon is blocked but covered. And the Newcastle coach very upset. So Tuck's just going to ask the question of why that ball wasn't called a lift. So straight to the middle. And Gibbs is going to take that kill as a block out. Referee just reminding the players that they do need to swap the ball between points. So Gibbs, but this time Hunter covers Bund. And Gibbs, you can see the positioning is there. That ball came off of his shin.
Yeah, just bit too tall, not weighting low enough. Maybe a little bit of fatigue from yesterday showing. Timeout called, 7 points in this third set. I mean, it's looking fairly commanding. I think we got Bund heading back to the baseline, and he's had 2 aces out of 3 post timeouts.
So you can see a bit of a head shake from the coach for Newcastle Knights, Sam Chinton. But the boys make their way back onto the court. Eagles starting to dance. Plenty of relaxation going on that side of the court. They've got a 7-point advantage, and they're 2 sets up, so seems a bit fair.
Yeah, it's a big old foot in the door of that bronze medal.
But then Bund.
That's Bund's first service error post timeout. I mean, we saw him get some big aces in that first set and the second set, and that time opting for a spinner instead of a float.
So Noah Sykes back to the service line for Knights. Good rotation for them. Cohen takes that ball. And McKelvey trying to chase that one. But that was a smart block out swing from Nathan Fullerton.
Yeah, and this is why you can see that man is leading the Super League in kills. I mean, the set was nowhere near perfect for him. He was kind of leaning all the way back and still absolutely found such a pacey option.
Cohen to serve. Beautiful pass from McKelvey. Out to Ledbury. Block out kill. So Milne back in to serve. Short dipping serve, and he gets the ace out of it. Milne back in again. Oh, what a one-handed set.
Huge. Let's watch this back. I mean, completely OT on the block. One-handed dime as well. Unreal. This connection between Martinez and Fullerton in full swing. They are very comfortable. Little commentator's curse there.
Okay, you can't curse that set, though, because that set from Martinez, I think that was the set of the weekend.
Yeah.
And as much as I know that there's still 2 matches to come after this, I don't think anybody's going to top that.
No, I think not.
So Peace and Bund takes that, despite his teammates calling that was out. Roll shot from Fullerton here. Nice dig from Milne.
Ooh.
And Gordon.
Okay. Oh, my God. Gordon putting an absolute crater in the floor. Look at this.
Trying to take the foot off of Hunter.
Yeah, and that's absolutely amped up the Knights. Who knows? We might see them go on a big, big charge here, because that will have really pumped them up.
I mean, they've already halved that 8-point deficit. They're now down to 4. So good time for Coach Jefferson Williams to call a timeout. So he's again from the service line. That's an awkward ball. So a rolling shot comes in. Good pass from Milne. Out to Captain Tuck. Really smart swing from him. He serves again. Martinez out to Kwame. Going for those high hands. And a roll shot. Well covered there. So standing start with a touch being called from the line judge, but the first referee overruling, saying there was no touch on that ball. Point goes to Eagles. You can see the thought and the intention, though, behind everything that Knights are doing right now. Kwame, another one of these hybrid serves. That's a beautiful pass from Milne. Tuck. This time it's well out.
Yeah, timeout called by the Knights, and coach kind of taking his time to get over there. I think he's gathering his thoughts a little bit. Maybe a little bit of frustration being felt. Definitely. I mean, that's his last timeout of the set, and it's now everything is riding on the team that's on the court. If they want this, they have to show that they want it. The chat's showing huge support for Newcastle, so let's hope they bring the energy.
Right. Everybody looking forward to the gold medal matches that will be coming up after this one, as we have Kwame to start us back off with another one of those hybrid serves. Gordon self-covers. This ball's got to go over. And then what a dig. Out to Tuck.
Big play coming off the timeout. This is hopefully the energy they want to retain. I mean,
but that, and we just saw the end of it at the start of the replay, but you can see this dive of Milne to go and recover that ball. Incredible stuff as we have Gordon back to serve. A bit long.
After a slight momentum shifting rally like that, that's one of the golden rules. You cannot be missing that serve.
We're going to have the other half of the reversal of that double substitution. Tuck to Ray, Ray to Bell. Good use of the fingertips of Martinez. Fullerton is dug this time. Bell turns setter, out to Tuck. What a swing.
Yeah, and Bell just finding a beautiful spot for Ollie Tuck to detonate. The block cannot get out wide enough to find him.
Gonna have another substitution. Okay, so we're gonna have Ledbury come back in for Milne, who was so incredible in defense. And second referee just letting Coach Denton know that he has no substitutes remaining. He's used all 6 of his. So very short serve.
Big ace. Smart play from the captain. Finally starting to break that deadlock of a deficit. 3 points in it now. Tuck really needs to retain the serve, pick smart spots, and put Mallory under pressure.
Tuck again. Much harder topspin serve this time to Bund. Roll shot. Great pickup by Ray. Out to Ledbury, who goes high hands. Gets the touch. Okay, so a couple of rotations while he would have been in the backcourt. Let him rest up, rest those legs, be ready to jump again. Very effective. Tuck again. This time it's left and called long. That was very close.
That was very, very close. I wouldn't like to call it. I don't know. I think Mallory very happy with that call.
We're going to have a yellow card.
A little bit of cheddar cheese on the court.
That's going to be for dissent. So Tuck just trying to understand what exactly has happened. So we're now Mallory 21-18. Martinez is up to serve. Float serve. Tuck puts up a decent pass out to Bell. Blocked. Nearly covered. But Cohen being an unstoppable wall at the minute. Martinez with another float serve. McKelvey picks that one up. Out to Ledbury. Smart rolling shot. The block lost side of that ball. This is a great game because, you know, a lot of times in the men's game, you don't see as much like tipping and roll shots, and those really short roll shots, that beach style where it's almost going straight up and down, makes this so interesting to watch. Bund with an overpass. And Hunter's in the right position to defend that, but Peace has too much heat for him.
Yeah, tough for Hunter. Timeout called with a 2-point differential. I mean, that was right in the breadbasket, but as you said, really couldn't find a handle of it. But that serving tactic of really pinning Bund is definitely winning a lot of favors. I mean, had a fair few overpasses this game, and if they can keep that coming, could be the difference.
Yeah.
That will win them this set or lose them this set.
It's definitely still tight enough that things could go either way. I think the commenters like the little bit of cheddar cheese.
Yeah, you don't see many reds in indoor, but I mean, if you do, then you've got to have a little bit of wine with your cheese, obviously. So, but no, reds not often pulled out. I got a red as a coach, but it was just
you sound a little bit proud of that, but I don't know if that's something to be proud of.
It was funny. It was funny.
Okay, we've got Gibbs on to serve. And his float serve is straight into the net. Coach's point there.
2 points remain for Mallory Eagles to claim the definitive spot on the 2025 podium.
There was going to be a change, but Dalrymple's a little too slow to get up to the sideline. Out to Bell. Good containing block touch, so Hunter puts up a good pass. And a really rare attacking error from Cohen there. So Knights stay within 2. Bell serves. This goes wide to bring up a few match points, for Mallory Eagles. So Dalrymple's going to make his way back on court as a serving substitution.
And we see the sign of
blocking substitution,
We want Dalrymple, and he has been brought on.
Cohen, float serve. Good one-handed set there from Ray.
Oh my God, okay. I mean, I'm not sure he's taken the spot from Martinez's one-handed set.
Okay, no, it's not that good because that was like so all the way across the net. But that was a beautiful ball up. As Ledbury comes in with a float serve. Dalrymple with his first pass of the game. Out to Fullerton, who tags the baseline to win the bronze medal for the Mallory Eagles. Incredible match, incredible performance for both of these teams.
Get a little replay on that final point. And who else, except for the leader of the Super League in kills, would you want to go to put the ball away to take the bronze medal? I think Dalrymple wanted to be the one to finish it. When you got Big Nate on the court, a little bit out of system, who are you going to feed but the hot hand, shovel hands Nate?
Yeah,
finishes it.
A massive 17 points for Nathan Fullerton in today's 3-set match. On the Newcastle Knights side, top scorer number 11, Bell, with 14 points. So really great performances from both of these teams. We're going to have the bronze medal presentation for the men's Dynamic Super League playoffs here in just a few moments' time, after which we will have a couple of words with our man of the match. So do stay tuned for that medal presentation. We will join you in just a moment to talk about that. All right, thanks for staying with us. We're just going to have the medal presentations for the Mallory Eagles, starting with their captain, number 4, Logan Clark. Then going to follow with the libero, who is just going to add one more medal to that collection of awards that he's collected over the years. So that's Dan Hunter. Then we've got number 1, Ben Kwame. Number 2, Brian Hang Hong. Number 5, Jordan Dalrymple. Number 6, Josh Funda Funda. Number 7, Soner Yashar. Number 8, massive Nathan Fullerton. Number 15, Dalton Bund. Number 17. Give me one moment. Number 17 is Bryce Bowen. Number 18, Dylan Cohen, who was really great today. Number 19, Joel Martinez. Number 23, Remy Cataray. And of course, the coaching staff, so well deserved. Head coach, we have Jefferson Williams, assisted by Carol Gordon, Ian Legrand, and Ruben Fernandez and Andrew Amashebi rounding out their staff. Massive congratulations to the Eagles today. Huge performance from all of the players. Really stand out from a couple of the guys. So do stay tuned. We're going to have an interview with our man of the match in just a couple of minutes' time. All right, welcome back. I'm joined now by Dylan Cohen, who is going to be our man of the match today. So congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
3-set victory.
Yes, it was a good win. It was a good win.
Yeah, big turnaround since opening weekend when you guys lost in 5 sets to the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, that was a tough match, but I think as a team we've really grown and we really value each other as people on and off the court, and I think that's what's made us better over time.
Yeah, no, I think that's been reflected as well in your most recent league result against Newcastle Knights, where you also beat them 3-0. And then you just recently defeated them as well in the Cup semifinals, haven't you?
You got it, yeah.
So,
I mean, it's always a battle, and volleyball's a game of being as perfect as you can with all the imperfections that come with it. And
yes.
I think that any day it can go either way, but as a team, we just had that many more closer to perfect plays.
Yes, I think that's actually a really good way to put that. I really like that. I might steal that. You might hear that on the stream later on.
Hey,
that's fine.
You got it. Take all the credit.
No, that's fine. So just to talk about stats for a moment, it was really tight decision on man of the match. So I'm a libero, and as a libero, I watch the middles a lot because, you know, you guys are kind of the other half of the person that we are on the court. So for me, I thought you had a really amazing standout performance today. You played well yesterday, but I think today you just turned it up just that little bit extra. So you had 11 kills and 2 blocks. So it was a good day out for you. I mean, 11 kills from a middle is a massive, massive game.
I'll take that. That's
yeah.
pretty nice.
But I can't not mention Nathan Fullerton.
Of
so
course.
I think he had 14 kills. So, and 4 blocks. And I think 2 of those blocks were solo blocks as well. So he had like a mega match. So definitely pass the congratulations on to him as well.
Of course, Nathan, I mean, off the court, Nathan is one of the nicest human beings I've personally ever met in my life. And having the pleasure of getting to play with him on the court, I mean, you look at him and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is absolutely massive. I would hate to see him walk in the gym and be like, oh no, I have to play against that guy.
Yes.
But yeah, he's a great guy and he works really hard. He puts in a lot of effort, and I think that's what makes him also such a great player, aside from him being humongous.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I mean, it was mentioned from the MC partway through that match. I think they called him Nathan Floor Destroyer Fullerton, which well-deserved title, I think. But yeah, no, it was a really great match. Are you guys now, I'm supposing you're going to turn your attention to the Cup Finals?
Correct. We're on to the Cup Finals, and now it's time to really lock in, buckle down, and just work on our connections in terms of passing to setting connections and our connections with our hitters, and see how perfect we can get that with each and every play.
Yeah, I think you guys did a really great job on serve receive today, and some of the defensive touches were top-notch. So if you can keep capitalizing on that, I think you've got a good chance of performing quite well. So we'll see you in Kettering in a couple of weeks then.
Thanks so much. I really
huge congratulations on the medal and the win and man of the match. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, that was Dylan Cohen, who was our man of the match for the men's bronze medal match here up in the Dynamic Super League Final Fours. We are just about to flip our way back to the Mari Women's Super League, where we're going to have Essex Rebels face off with the Mallory Eagles women up next on the stream. So do tune right back into the Volleyball England YouTube channel. I've been your host, Jess Smith, and I will see you here in just a few moments' time.